Hey guys, welcome back to Venesha's Cutesies Squad. I think that's gonna be it. So, I remember when I was in middle school, right? So, I had this kid who was he was bothering me. And when I was in the class, it was this other kid who had the same name as him. I think I'm gonna call him, let's call him Jake, right? So, Jake, he was an ass. So, I was on the bus stop, right? And I met a friend, right? That's how I got a friend. I met a friend. Her name is Sarah, right? So I met a friend and I used to save a seat for my sister to go on the bus to go home, right? But then I met Sarah, right? And I started to save a seat for Sarah and my sister had to go find a seat for herself, right? So that day it was packed. The bus was packed. So usually it's three to the seat. It's three to the seat, but sometimes it's two. So it was a day when it was everybody came on the bus that day, right? And it was only a couple of seats, right, left. So it was two in the back, right? So I found a seat in the back, right? And I'm gonna say, when I sat down, I waited for Sarah to come, and she sat next to me, right? And this Jake kid, he sat right behind me. I don't know if he had a thing for this other kid who left, but the other kid liked me. So I don't know if he was jealous because of that. I don't know, or maybe because I stole his seat, because he loved sitting in the back, of the bus. So I sat there and he was hitting me with the seatbelt, right? And telling me some stupid questions, right? And the bus driver was looking at us, right? From the little glance of the mirror, right? And she didn't want to say anything, right? I don't know why. So he was telling me a question or something like that. Or he was talking, right? And I was at this seat, right? It was right when people was walking. And then Sarah was on the door area. The door/window area, right? So he hit me with the seatbelt, right? And he's asking me some stupid question when I don't even know. Because I'm in middle school, right? I don't know why he knows these kind of things, but I didn't know these things, right? So he was hitting me in the seatbelt and he was asking me stupid questions oh, did you did it, right? And I was I didn't understand what he was saying, the question, right? So I'm thinking he's talking about video games or did I jump off a tree or do some weird thing, right? Activity, right? So that's what I'm thinking, right? And I'm thinking that he'll get off my back in my mind. I'm if I say yes, maybe he'll leave me alone, right? But I didn't understand the question, And I was in middle school, I just didn't know the question or the answer to answer that question. I should have said no, but I didn't understand the question, what he was talking about, right? So my friend looked at me you did it? And I was I didn't know what he was talking about. It. What is it? I don't know what is it. Anybody can explain to me? No one explained to me. So he was with who, right? And I was I just made up a name. I just made up everything, I just he asked the question, I was whatever, I'm gonna say yes. I should have said no, but I just didn't understand the question. So I said yes, and then he was with who? And I was with Mark. I did not know he had a friend named Mark. But then he was oh, Mark must be mentally challenged. And I was is he just calling Mark mentally challenged and I just made him up? He's not real. He's not a real person to me because he's made up. The answer what I gave you was made up, So he was like that, right? And then there was he kept hitting me with the seatbelt, right? And asking me some stupid questions, right? The bus driver actually told him to leave me alone, or she would kick him off the bus, right? So he did that. He stopped hitting me with the seatbelt. So the next day, I went back to school, right? And then I'm telling this lady who helps the teacher and the teacher herself, right? And I was Jake is so annoying. He kept hitting me with seatbelt and stuff like that, and asking me some stupid question I don't even know. She's like, okay. She was like, which Jake she's talking about? You're not talking about this Jake right beside you. And I was like, no, guys. Not this Jake. This Jake is a sweetheart, you know. He's a lovely kid, you know. Not him. So she was like, oh, okay. So I was like, explaining to her, like, this Jake keep getting on my nerve and messing with me on the bus and all these other stuff, you know, and asking me some stupid question I don't even know, because I'm not into girls. I was never into guys or girls, not even now, you know. So that happened, right? So I was like, this kid is so annoying. I want to hurt him in some way, like punch him in his face or so, you know. She was like, oh, okay. So I was like, and then after that, it was like the end of the day, right? And I had to go back on the bus, you know, with Jake, you know. So I was like, oh my God, this is so annoying, you know. So the bus driver, I liked her. She was pretty cool, you know. So it was our turn to get off the stop, right? Of the bus stop, right? Because we're the last person she have to get off the bus, right? It was me and Jake, right? So it's kind of hard for me to remember his name, you know, pretend name, right? So I was like, okay, so I got off the bus and Jake was still sleeping on the bus, right? So I was happy, you know, because he'll be leaving with her, you know, and she had to go back to the bus terminal, you know, to return the bus, right? So I got off the bus, I went home, the next day come, you know, and again, he was sleeping on the bus again. And I'm like, oh my God, this is going to happen again, you know, maybe just like his karma or something like that, right? So he went to sleep again, and it was our turn to get off the bus, right? The lady, the bus driver lady, she knew he was sleeping, right? And since I like her, you know, I did her a favor, right? She was like, Venesha, please, can you take Jake off the bus, you know, like wake him up or do something, you know? And I was like, miss, I don't like him. I don't like Jake. Jake is an ass, you know? So she's like, please, just for me, can you just wake him up and get him off the bus? Because last time it was a situation that I had to come back and drop him, you know, and stuff like that. And it was just plain crazy, you know. So I was like, oh my God, lady, okay, whatever, I'll help you, you know. But then I was like, I walked towards him, and he's in the back seat, right? So I walked towards him, feeling all the anger what he was putting me through, right? So I picked up my arm. I didn't just tap him, you know, like a regular person. You know, the anger came back, you know. I used this fist, right? And I thumped him right in his arm, right? He jumped out of his seat. And he was like, I was like, it's a bus stop. Get off the bus. He was like, okay. So I rushed to go, to get off the bus. And I went home. And then the next day come, right? So we was in school and stuff like that. I don't know how he found me in the hallway or something like that. He was like, I want to fight you. And I was like, why you want to fight me? I don't know what was the answer he wanted to fight me. I don't remember. But I'm thinking because I thumped him so hard, you know. Pretty good, you know. Anywho, so I was like, whatever, we can fight. Just take it to the neighborhood, you know. He's like, no, I'm not going to take it to the neighborhood and fight you there. And I was like, so you want to fight me, but you don't want to take it to the neighborhood. He's like, no, we're going to take it inside the school. And I was like, dude, are you stupid? You must be stupid. Because if I get caught, I'm going to get yelled at and a whooping. So his idea was take it to the school so his friends can jump me after he beat me up, right? And I'm more smarter than that, you know. I was like, nah. If we're going to squash this beef, you know, take it to the neighborhood so I can beat the shit out of you, know. He was like, nah, whatever. And I was like, whatever, this is end. Because don't talk to me, don't even look my way. And if you go to sleep again, I surely not going to wake your ass up, okay? Because it's not my problem that your ass is sleeping on the bus and the sweet lady, she's like being sweet and stuff like that, which you don't even say thank you, because the last time she brought you closer to your house, you didn't even say thank you. Because you're a rude N-word. You're a rude ass, So, whatever, So, that was the ending of the story. If you have these kind of stories like this happening to you guys, comment down below because so many people are so dumb, So, yeah. Bye.